The only way to become smarter instantly is to admit how little you know. That's the paradox. Intelligence begins with ignorance. Most people think the opposite. They collect facts, memorize answers, and avoid saying I don't know at all costs. But here's what they miss. The smartest people in history built their genius on admitting ignorance. Stay with me, because this paradox changes everything about how you think, and by the end, you will use it to outsmart 90% of people you meet. Now, let me show you exactly what I mean. Two people walk into a meeting. One has all the answers, speaks with certainty, never admits doubt. The other asks questions, says, I might be wrong, and openly explores ideas. Who do you think makes better decisions 6 months later? If you pick the second person, you're catching on to the paradox. The person who acts like they know less actually learns more. The person who protects their image of being smart actually stops growing. In the next few minutes, you'll see why this paradox exposed fake wisdom in ancient Greece, why modern psychology proves it works, and 3 ways to use it tonight to think clearer than you did this morning. This isn't about being humble for the sake of it. It's about using curiosity to upgrade your mind. So here's the core paradox. The more certain you feel, the less you actually learn. The more you admit uncertainty, the faster your intelligence grows. This sounds backward because we're taught that smart people have answers. But look closer. Smart people have better questions. They know the difference between confidence and certainty. Confidence lets you act despite doubt. Certainty makes you stop looking for better information. And the stakes are real. Think about the last time someone doubled down on being right instead of admitting they might be wrong. Maybe it was a coworker defending a bad strategy. Maybe it was a friend refusing to see your point. Maybe it was you in an argument that spiraled because neither side would budge. That's the trap of fake intelligence. It feels good in the moment, but it kills learning. Real intelligence feels uncomfortable because it lives in questions, not answers. The paradox hits hard. Humility about what you know is the fastest path to actually knowing more. Without this paradox, you get stuck in what psychologists call the confidence trap, where feeling smart makes you act dumb, and acting dumb makes you genuinely smarter. Now, if you're serious about mastering this kind of sharp thinking, I put together everything you need in the art of critical thinking. It's not just theory. It's a complete practical guide that combines the ancient strategies of Socrates and the Stoics with modern psychology to help you ask sharper questions, recognize mental traps, and decode people's words and body language. You'll learn to stay calm under pressure while others panic and make decisions that protect your time, money, and peace of mind. Check the description below for the link. There's a 30-day guarantee, so you risk nothing trying it. All right, back to it. 2,500 years ago, a guy in Athens claimed to be the wisest person in the city. Not because he knew more than everyone else, but because he knew that he knew nothing. Socrates would walk to the marketplace and find people who claimed expertise, politicians, poets, craftsmen. He'd ask them simple questions. What is justice? He'd ask a judge. What is beauty? He'd ask an artist. They'd give confident answers. But as Socrates kept asking why and how do you know, their certainty crumbled. Here's the kicker. Socrates wasn't trying to humiliate anyone. He was revealing something that still matters today. The people who claim the most knowledge often understand the least. They had memorized answers without understanding the questions. Fast forward to 1999. 2 psychologists decided to test this ancient insight. They gave people tests on logic, grammar, and humor. Then they asked each person to predict how they performed. The results were wild. The worst performers consistently overestimated their abilities. The best performers underestimated theirs. This became the Dunning-Kruger effect. But it's really just a Socratic paradox with data. Incompetent people don't know enough to recognize their incompetence. Competent people know enough to recognize how much they don't know. Now here's where it gets useful. In the study, when the worst performers were taught to recognize competence, they immediately became more accurate about their own abilities. The knowledge didn't just make them smarter, it made them aware of what they didn't know. That awareness unlocks real learning. If you made it this far and haven't subscribed, ask yourself, are you resisting the paradox? Are you so sure you already know enough about thinking that you don't need to learn more? Hit subscribe, or keep believing you've got nothing left to learn. The choice shows which side of the paradox you're on. But this isn't about becoming insecure or second-guessing everything. It's about separating your ego from your ideas, so you can upgrade them without feeling like you're losing face. And the research on this paradox goes deeper than most people realize. When neuroscientists scan the brains of people learning new skills, something happens. The more someone admits they don't understand, the more their brain activates error monitoring circuits. These circuits make you better at spotting mistakes and using feedback. However, when people feel defensive about their knowledge, those same circuits shut down. The brain literally stops looking for better information. Arrogance creates blind spots. Humility creates learning opportunities. Now here's where this gets counterintuitive. Admitting uncertainty doesn't make you look weak. It makes you more persuasive. Research shows that people trust speakers more when they acknowledge complexity instead of pretending everything is simple. Saying, I might be wrong, but here's what I think actually increases your credibility. Why? Because everyone knows the world is complicated. When you pretend otherwise, people sense you're either lying or naive. When you acknowledge uncertainty, you signal that you're thinking clearly about a complex problem. This creates a social advantage. While other people are defending their positions, you're exploring possibilities. While they're trying to win arguments, you're trying to find truth. That difference compounds over time into better relationships, better decisions, and better outcomes. The ancient Stoics had a phrase for this: strong opinions, weakly held. Be confident enough to act on your best judgment, but humble enough to change course when you get better information. And you can use this starting tonight. So here's how to test this paradox on yourself right now. Pick something you're absolutely certain about: a political opinion, a work strategy, a relationship judgment. Write down why you're so sure. Now spend 10 minutes listing 3 reasons you might be wrong. Not reasons you definitely are wrong, just reasons you might be. Don't argue with the list. Treat it like a scientific hypothesis. Notice what happens to your certainty. It should loosen without disappearing. That looseness isn't weakness. It's intellectual flexibility. You're now more likely to notice evidence that could improve your position. Here's the second experiment. The next time someone disagrees with you, instead of defending your view, ask one genuine question. What are you seeing that I'm not? Then actually listen to the answer. You'll be amazed how often you learn something useful. Most people treat disagreement like a threat. But if you're genuinely trying to understand rather than win, disagreement becomes free consulting. The person arguing with you is basically doing quality control on your thinking for free. Try this for 1 week and watch what happens to your relationships and decisions. You'll start having conversations instead of arguments. You'll catch mistakes before they become expensive. You'll find solutions you never would have discovered while defending your original position. Now here's the advanced version. The goal isn't to become uncertain about everything. It's to become strategically uncertain about the things that matter most. Bertrand Russell nailed this. The trouble with the world is that the stupid are cocksure and the intelligent full of doubt. But Russell wasn't advocating paralysis. He was advocating precision. Be very sure about small things that are easy to verify. Be appropriately uncertain about big things that are hard to verify. This creates what researchers call calibrated confidence. Your level of certainty matches the actual likelihood that you're right. People with calibrated confidence make better predictions, better investments, and better life choices because they're neither overconfident nor underconfident. They're accurately confident. The paradox becomes a superpower when you realize that admitting ignorance isn't the end goal. It's the starting point. I don't know isn't a weakness to hide. It's intelligence showing you exactly what to learn next. Master this, and you'll stop wasting time defending weak positions and start investing time building strong ones. You'll stop having the same arguments over and over and start having conversations that actually go somewhere. So the paradox is simple but powerful. Intelligence grows by embracing ignorance. The more comfortable you become with not knowing, the faster you learn. The more you protect what you think you know, the slower you grow. Here's your challenge for tomorrow. Catch yourself every time you claim to know something. Turn it into a question instead. I know this won't work becomes, I wonder why this might not work. I'm sure they're wrong becomes, I'm curious what they're thinking. Watch how this small language shift changes your thinking. Questions create possibilities. Certainties create dead ends. If you want to train your mind to cut through confusion and grow sharper every week, subscribe now. Don't just watch these ideas. Practice the paradox. The smartest thing you can do right now is admit you're still learning. Go test one belief tonight and see what happens. If this video made you think differently, my book, The Art of Critical Thinking, will take you even further. It's packed with simple, practical steps you can start using right away to make sharper decisions and see through the noise of daily life. The link's in the comments and description. Go check it out before you forget, because the sooner you start applying it, the faster everything in your life begins to shift. See you on the next one.